All right. Well, thank you for tuning in at this time. I'm Jason Gamel. I work with the recruitment for Georgia Northwestern Technical College, and we've been highlighting different programs through the month of October. We did some in business technologies, and for the month of November, we're doing some in industrial technologies. And I appreciate David Warren, our instructor in our horticulture program at Georgia Northwestern Technical College, joining us today. David, thank you for taking your time out.
Thank you.
And so as students, as we've, the prospective students that are out there, we're just trying to highlight different programs that are in our industrial technologies programs, and horticulture is a great program with a lot of opportunities. So just wanted to sort of bring Mr. Warren on here and let him share a little bit about the program. So David, thank you for joining us. And so first of all, if you don't mind sort of giving a highlight of the program and sort of what is encompassed in the horticulture program, okay?
Okay. Well, first, let me give you just a little definition of what horticulture is. Some folks may not exactly understand what that means, but that is, in our industry, that is landscaping. It is landscape management and maintenance. It is greenhouse production. It is nursery production. And nursery is where they grow the trees and shrubs which are used in landscaping. We also, as a part of the landscape management and the greenhouse management and the nursery management, we have to teach some irrigation. So that's a course that we also teach. So there is opportunity also for floral design, but right now the major emphasis and where most of the students would go to work at would be at a nursery, a greenhouse, a landscape management company, a landscape company, landscape design, irrigation. So that's sort of the major areas to let you know a little bit about what as far as what horticulture is and the way what we do here at the college. We do have a degree program, and it usually takes a student 2 years to go all the way through the degree program, and then you would have a degree in horticulture. There is a diploma program which usually takes 2 years, but there's a few less courses there, so sometimes you can finish in less time than that. If you have any of your core courses like your English and math and social studies and some of those, and you want to get a degree program, it is possible to get a degree, associate's degree in horticulture in 1 year. I've had some students that do that. Also, we have actually 6 certificates. One of them's in floral design, which right now we really need to get a floral design instructor in here, because my background is more in landscaping and greenhouse and nursery and irrigation and that sort of thing, equipment operation. And so right now we if we get enough students and we can start that, we will. But as far as the certificates that you can get, I told you about the degree and also about the diploma. We have a certificate in what we call Environmental Horticulture Technician. That takes, let me see here, that takes about 4 courses to complete that. There is, let me just get my little sheet of paper out here so I won't skip any. There's one in Landscape Specialist, and there are 1, 2, 3. There's 5 courses within that one. You also can get one in lawn maintenance, which is how many courses is that? 1, 2, 3. About 4 or 5 courses in that. Have a student doing that right now. There is one in nursery greenhouse technician, and there are 1, 2, 3, about 4 courses, 4 or 5 courses in that. There's also sort of an advanced course which covers all those, plus there is an addition of a turf management within that, an additional course of turf management, and you can have a landscape. It's more than just a technician. It's a specialist. It's a little bit more training than when I mentioned the landscape management specialist. It's a little bit more. It's about 1 or 2 courses. So you've got those 5 certifications. Now, if you take the courses here at the college, when you start with either diploma or degree, as you go through the courses that most students take here, you're automatically earning some of these certificates because we teach all those courses that it takes to get the certificate for you to get your diploma or your degree. So not only do you get your diploma or your degree, you also get, if you've done all the coursework for all of those, which you would have, you would get the certificates in addition to the degree or the diploma. Okay, so that's kind of how the program works. You want me to give them a little bit of background how the classes go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's say you are a freshman coming in, and the first 4 courses that are offered in that first semester that you would be here, there's one called Woody Plant ID, okay, and there's one called Hort 1000, which is horticulture science. Both of those are introductory courses. And then usually I might do soils that semester. I might do let me see. Let me go. And let me go back here just a little bit. Because of COVID, we kind of had to change our spring schedule around, so it threw this off a little bit. But we'll do, typically in the fall, we'll do the horticulture science, like I told you. We will do the woody ornamentals. We will do, at the same time, because you'd have second-year students in there, you would have the option to take landscape design and small engines or soils. We swap those around a good bit, okay, with the summer and the spring and that sort of thing. So those are 4 courses. Of those, the students that really like that horticulture. And if you are like design and drawing on computers, because we do both hand drawing and computer-aided design on the landscape design. And if you're mechanically minded, you'll really like that small engines course. Students really like that one too. All right, so let's say you come in, you stay in the spring, you have a herbaceous plant identification class, and you have a pest management class, which is basic. Everybody has to take that, okay? It's like the horticulture science and the woodies. They have to take those. Other than that, your electives then would be, let's see, you would have greenhouse management would be an option. Landscape construction might be an option. Landscape installation might be an option. Irrigation might be an option. I kind of swap those around from time to time according to when students want them. Then if you're here in the summer, you will definitely do the irrigation class, the nursery production class. You will do landscape installation, irrigation, nursery production, maybe soils, according to when I swap those around. There is a special projects in horticulture that we teach sometime. There is like I say, I've already mentioned landscape construction. There's a landscape installation. They're a little bit different. We rotate those through. So also, let me mention every semester I offer an internship, and that is where you can go to work for a company. We usually get out about 12 o'clock, and sometimes it's 1 o'clock, sometimes it might be 2 o'clock, and then you can go to work. But if you're on an internship, I really try to work with you where you can go, leave at 12, get some lunch, and then get on the job site. So those are kind of the horticulture things. If you're doing the degree, you've got to do some math. Okay, they got a math class. You got to do some English. You got to do some social studies type things, and English. Oh, and there is an introduction computer class that everyone has to take. If you are in the diploma, there is a possibility that they're going to do away with the English and the math, but it's even if they don't, it's a lower number. It's not as advanced as the math that you would get if you went into a degree program. If you just want certificates, all you have to do is take the courses to get the certificates. And I have students that have done that. Typically, it is in some sort of landscape management. They're already in the industry. They just want to be able to offer more services and more knowledge to their customers. Of course, they can charge more money for that. So that's kind of an overview. And I know I've thrown a lot of information out there, but my students have no problem getting jobs. This past spring, because of COVID, I didn't get any calls. But usually, starting in February, I can't place all the students. And on top of that, they get out there in the industry and they find jobs, and they're making money a lot of times while they're going to school.
Yeah, this is great. This is great information. And one thing I did want to mention that the program is offered at our Floyd County campus.
Yes,
but you've got
yes.
students that travel over from surrounding counties and stuff, but it is located near the Woodley building on the Floyd County campus, sort of next to the Woodley building on the Floyd County campus. And what the students are getting, David, is they come in and they're getting hands-on experience. That's what a lot of our programs provide, especially in the industrial sector. So they're getting hands-on, right?
They're getting hands-on. I mentioned greenhouse management. We've already started growing the stuff for the spring plant sale. That's huge for us. Yeah. You grow those from cuttings, from seed. You do every single step from controlling the greenhouse environment and everything that has to do with producing the crop, and all the way to marketing and selling that. And you learn how to make money, run a greenhouse, to do that. Same way with the nursery, okay? Teach a nursery usually during the summer. So every step of the way, almost all those classes are lab classes. Now, let me mention this. The identification, the two identifications aren't classified as labs, but in reality they are, because we do the classwork and then we're outside, okay? Soils, I put some labs in there, so there's some technical stuff going on there, but it's mostly labs, to answer your question. Absolutely, mostly labs, hands-on, operating skid steers, all kinds of equipment, that we have. So, and I will say this: it's mostly outside. If you like outside work, and it may be in a greenhouse, but to me that's still kind of outside. A lot of outside work. So if you like outdoors and don't mind getting your hands a little bit dirty, and maybe in the summer getting a little bit hot and sweaty, but if you like outdoors, this would be the program for you.
So, David, if a student or maybe a counselor hears about the session, just about the program, how can they reach out to you for further questions? You want to go ahead and give your email address for the college? My email address is dwarren, DWARREN, dwarren at GNTC.edu, and I will absolutely answer your emails. I had a lady that emailed me from Chicago that's moving back home who wants to take the horticulture classes. So you can get in touch with me from all over the world if you need to. Sounds good. And do you mind, let's give them their office number there.
The office number here is 295-6902.
Okay, 706-295-6. Did you say? I apologize. Was it 6902?
6902. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I say that backwards?
295-6902. That was right. I almost messed this up, but that's right. 295-6902. But definitely the best way, probably through email.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So dwarren at gntc.edu. Just a lot of great information, David, and just for the students to consider. Like I said, getting hands-on experience, and that's what we do. As our mission is training folks preparing for the workforce. So this is just another great program that we have and that we're highlighting. And David, any closing remarks you want to share about the program?
Two other things. I don't know how many times I say a week to the students, you just learned something that somebody's willing to pay you money for. Okay. You learn how to hook up that valve or to plant that tree or to stake that or whatever. Somebody's willing to pay you money to do that. And number two would be I have students from all over Northwest Georgia. I've got all the way from Flintstone, Georgia, up near Chattanooga, Lafayette, Calhoun, Cedartown, Rockmart. So they drive in, and I try to make it 1 or 2 days a week so they have to drive every day. So anyway, yeah, be glad to talk to anybody. If you want a tour, contact me and we'll make it happen.
All right. Well, we appreciate this time, David, and great program information for the horticulture program and highlighting it. And folks, if we can help you out in any way, we want to at GNTC, and I know we want to with the horticulture program. Again, dwarren@gntc.edu. And appreciate your time, David.
Thank you, Jason.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.